माननीय महोदय, मां सरस्वती के श्री चरणों में प्रणाम अर्पित करते हुए इस गरिमामय समारोह में आपका स्वागत है और स्वागत है उन सभी आज के मेहमानों का जो इस प्रभावशाली व्यक्तित्व से अपने जीवन के हर क्षेत्र में जिन्होंने सफलता प्राप्त की है, जिनके सामने वो रूबरू होने जा रहे हैं। विद्या ददाति विनयम विनयाद् याति पात्रम। इस संस्कृत श्लोक की पहली पंक्ति का अर्थ है विद्या यानी ज्ञान, ज्ञान से विनम्रता प्राप्त होती है। सर, आपका कार्य के प्रति आपकी काम के प्रति जो निष्ठा है और आपके ज्ञान के प्रति जो अनुराग है, इसको देख के मैं अपनी कृतज्ञता जाहिर करती हूँ और ये अतिशयोक्ति नहीं होगी कि जिस तरह आप अपनी निष्ठा और अनुराग से अपने काम और ज्ञान को सभी के सामने रखते हैं, उससे हम और हमारे मन भाव विभोर हो उठते हैं। सर, आप यहाँ हमारे साथ 16 वर्ष की आयु के विद्यार्थियों से लेकर 80 वर्ष की आयु के लोगों के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। मैं हमारे प्रेसिडेंट किशुमन सुखानी को बताना चाहूंगी, सर, CHM कॉलेज की स्थापना 1965 में हुई थी और आपको जानकर खुशी होगी कि हमारे 1965 के विद्यार्थी, फर्स्ट बैच के विद्यार्थी आज इस मंच पर हमारे साथ मौजूद है, श्री मंगत दुधानी जी। और इसके साथ CHM टीम ने इस बात की पहल की है कि हर दशक के एलुमनाई को हम अपने साथ जोड़े। 1980 के मिस्टर कुमार एलानी, 1990 के और राकेश बख्शी और मिस्टर मनीष तलरेजा और हमारे अपने बोर्ड के कॉलेज के जो प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, KC कॉलेज, HR कॉलेज, MMK कॉलेज, ये सभी प्रिंसिपल सर आप ही के CHM कॉलेज के एलुमनाई हैं। इन सभी का आज की इस सभा में, इस समारोह में स्वागत है। डॉक्टर निरंजन हीरानंदानी हमेशा सर्व कल्याण की बात करते हैं, वासुदेव कुटुंबकम। तो देख लीजिए सर किशुमन सुखानी जी, आपका पूरा कुटुंब आज यहाँ पर मौजूद है और इस पहल के लिए CHM टीम को बधाई। Often quoted Sanskrit श्लोक तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय। Oh God, take us all away from darkness to the path of light. सर, डॉक्टर निरंजन हीरानंदानी के विनम्र शब्दों में आज जिस तरह हम जीवन के रास्तों के आए हुए अंधेरों को ज्ञान के प्रकाश से उज्ज्वलित कर सकते हैं, जिस तरह सर ने अपने जीवन के सभी अंधेरों को अपने ज्ञान के प्रकाश से उज्ज्वलित किया है, आज मैं इस प्रभावशाली व्यक्तित्व से मैं अनुरोध करती हूँ, सर, I humbly request you to take over the session. Thank you so much to be with us. Sir,
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय प्रिंसिपल मंजू पाठक। बहुत खुशी होती है आपके साथ शरीक होने पर। आपने इतने लोगों को शरीक किया है आज रविवार को, वो भी रविवार को सुबह, तो बहुत 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 मैं आभारी हूँ। हमारे प्रेसिडेंट साहब भी मौजूद हैं, उनसे भी मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ। हमारे दूसरे प्रिंसिपल्स, दूसरे टीचर्स, अलमनाई जो इनवाइटीज़ हैं और बाकी के जो हमारे स्पेशल जो हमारा लगाव उनसे सबसे ज़्यादा है वो है हमारे विद्यार्थी। उनको मैं बहुत खुशी से बात करना चाहता हूँ और ये बहुत मज़ा आता है कि आपसे के साथ हम शरीक हों। मेरी हिंदी इतनी ताकतवर नहीं है जितनी आपकी है प्रिंसिपल, तो मैं माफ़ी चाहता हूँ कि मैं पूरी जो बात करूँगा वो इंग्लिश में करूँगा, इसलिए मैं ये परवानगी आपसे लेना चाहता हूँ कि मैं इंग्लिश में बोल लूँ, क्योंकि जो हिंदी में आपने बात की मुझे शर्म आती है कि मुझे इतनी अच्छी हिंदी नहीं आती जितने मैं जिस ताकतवर से आप बोलते हैं। पर हम कोशिश करेंगे कि आगे की बात हम हिंदी में भी उतने ही ताकतवर से बोले जैसे आप बात करेंगे, और मैं समझूंगा कि वो मेरा सक्सेस है कि मैं आपको थोड़ा सा आपके नज़दीक जो आप जितने आप बोलते हैं उतना भी हम कर लें। ये लास्ट 12 महीने में बहुत ही कठिनाई हमने देखे। पूरा हमारे परिवार देखे, पूरे देश देखी और पूरा विश्व को ये कोविड के प्रॉब्लम्स आ गया। हमारे जो एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, हमारे HSNC बोर्ड है, 14 कॉलेजेस हैं, प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, 2500 जो हमारे टीचर्स वगैरह जो हैं, बहुत कठिनाई में थे। कुछ कोविड में तकलीफ में आ गए, हमारे संस्था सब बंद हो गए थे। लेकिन हमारे जो प्रेसिडेंट है, उन्होंने एक अलग ही लीडरशिप ली और उन्होंने कहा कि हमें ये जो कठिनाई है उनको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी में परिवर्तन करना है। So ladies and gentlemen, the worst situation which has happened in the world, which was the COVID, by which the entire economies of the countries of the world were destroyed, hundreds and thousands of people have been dead, hospitals have been marginalized, opening up of problem was not there. For the first time in our lives, we were isolated in our homes, we could not move out, people were losing their jobs, lot of economic distress has taken place, something which we have never seen in the world. The education institutions also faced a similar calamity because we found that we could not reach our students. We did not want to have a gap in what we did. So, with the collective responsibility taken by the board, they faced the challenge. For the first time, we took up the whole thing to say that the HSNC board colleges would be the first, I repeat, the first to do online teaching. And I must congratulate both the teachers who were unused to this technology thing. I think the students were very much more cleverer to use the instruments of learning and teaching, but the teachers were handicapped because they were not as familiar to use all the instruments of teaching and learning, but they took up the challenge. And that is where the biggest calamity of the world, facing not only the educational institutions but the entire systems all over the world, we were able to. The Prime Minister did his job. He did the lockdown. He saved lives. We have less percentage of deaths in India than we have in the United States of America. So congratulations to the success which our Prime Minister did in terms of handling it. Congratulations to the HSNC board, the president, the teachers, the principals, all the students of coming up and getting to the online platform as quickly as possible. So what is it that makes it successful? The simple story that we have here today was what? There was a problem, there was a thought, there was a challenge, there was a thinking that we will meet this challenge. So we converted what could have been just a fearful situation of a very disastrous COVID, could have been immobilized all of us and we would have gone into hibernation. But we didn't. What did we do? We learned how to use the new platforms very, very quickly and diligently, put it across to the people, taught our teachers to take up the challenges in terms of it, took one step at a time with starting a few lectures at a time and then taking it forward in order to see how this could be actually meet the target. This has been the latest experiences of how to meet challenges and really to take these challenges and make ourselves successful. So the entire HSNC board met the COVID with not only meeting the challenge but succeeded in being the first colleges in the entire university system of the University of Mumbai into converting online platform. Not only online platform for the purposes of teaching and learning, but also for conducting an examination. Lot of challenges. I know some of you students were cheating, but nevertheless we will catch you by next time and put you into difficulty. So you better learn your subjects better and stop cheating, because we are going to improve our systems and we will catch all those cheaters who have taken and misused the position for doing the examinations. All in all, I must tell you that the new challenges were definitely done. In life, there are going to be many challenges. The bigger the aspiration, the better it is. One should always aspire to be very large. I was a small builder. I never thought that I could be a big one at the time when I started life. But at some time, I looked at the stars, I looked at the big builders who were there in those days, the Makers, the Rahejas, the Mittals, all were very large builders and were doing many buildings. I promised myself, I'm going to be one day bigger than them. Today I don't aspire the same way, but at that time I did. And what did I do? And I kept on thinking, let me look at what these clever people do. How did the big developers actually pick up big projects and what they did? I used them as mentors. They didn't even know that I was being mentored by them. I would look at their projects. I would speak to their people who were working with them. I would talk and interview some of those people to recruit them in my company. I used to conduct the HR myself. So I learned in the process a large number of things that we're doing. But till you did not aspire, there was no way to do it. At the time when I started 35 years ago, the project in Powai, I never thought that it would be so large, so beautiful and other things. But I did not do it. Even though it appeared to be an impossible challenge, we started to work. And I had to work very hard, obviously, when you wanted to do a big project like that. And I didn't have the kind of money that I have today. So I had, with very limited resources, to take up a large project. Yes, it was difficult. I found it very hard work to do it. But the hard work was just a pleasure. So when you aspire for something and say, I want to do it, all the pains of it goes away. It's like you want to do a particular thing and you want to reach that goal. I promise you, it does not become difficult. What becomes difficult is when you start thinking, will I reach that goal? No. I don't have that much money. Oh, I don't have that strength. I don't have those contacts. I don't have this. I'm handicapped to reach it. Then the moment you think like that, it means you really don't want to reach it. You have to have the aspiration and goals which are high up and the willingness to put it there. I remember the story of Mr. Mukesh Ambani of Reliance, who 15 years ago, I attended a function and I was present, and I think his father was also alive at that point of time, Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani, and at that time, the mobile phones and other things were just starting. And the price of the mobile phone was, airtime, was 33 rupees a minute. 15 rupees 50 paisa for outgoing and 15 rupees 50 paisa per minute for incoming. Exorbitant. And it was at that time when the announcement was made by Mr. Mukesh Ambani that one day I will make it less than a cost of a postcard. In those days, the postcard cost 1 rupee. And everybody was quite shocked. How is it possible? At 33 rupees a minute, they are now charging. How can it come down to 1 rupee a minute? But this was a goal. This was an aspiration. This was a thought. This was something which was Himalayan. It was almost like reaching and climbing Mount Everest for them. But they announced it. And they worked steadily on and on. Today, as you know, airtime for people of talk is less than 1 rupee a minute. And that is the benefit which has happened because people aspired. They thought of it, worked hard on it, took that direction and then did it. You cannot believe it. People do feel that, it is at a age that you should be able to start an aspiration and goal. Let me share with you some thoughts of my own story. I'm going to share one of my own stories. When I started life at around, working life at around 26, 27, by the time I was 35, 40, I used to work a lot and work very hard. and I was making some successes in life. One day, I went to my school, my alma mater, Campion School in Bombay, and I was, as an old boy of 40 years old, made to run 20 meters. Only 20 meters. When I finished running 20 meters, which was the old boys race, of course I didn't win it, but at that time I was panting. And I suddenly realized that, oh, I've been working so hard, but I've destroyed my health because I never spent a single minute on my own health. I only thought that I must work and be a successful person. But it shocked me at that point of time, and I said, oh God, if I'm going to be wealthy, but I'm not going to be having my health onto line, I would not be a successful man. What's the idea of being a wealthy man and die early? So it was necessary for me to change my mind. And from that day onwards, I started little bit of exercising. Went and joined the gym, did some yoga, running. Now, next week, I am 71 years old. And let me share with you that I exercise in the gym 3 days a week. I do yoga 2 days a week. And I run 5 kilometers once a week. And of course, during this COVID times, the work has been different. And I can now do 10 kilometers of the marathon very comfortably, even without panting. No more from me. So I want that each and every one of you, if you want to be successful in life, you have to have the balance between your work and your health. You may not realize it at your age, and maybe it's not as important. But in the life that you have, remember this. Take care of your body, take care of your health. It's extremely important to do so. And it doesn't matter what age you start. I started at the age of 40, 45 doing my exercises, but I got into the fitness mode and doing it. So any age and every age is good enough for the purposes of seeing to it that you improve and make a success of what you want to do. In this case, it was the question of my health. Very, very, very important to do it. So, over a period of years, I have come across some thoughts. And I'm going to share these ideas with you just now. What makes people to become successful? And many times, this could be, some may have borrowed from people, some have come up because of my own experience of living life, and also sharing with people who are, of course, better than me. So it's one thing that is there. One of the things which I read about Sachin Tendulkar was the fact that in all his life, of his student age and other age, he used to always get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and by 5:30, he would be there on the ground. He would be there on the running pitch, on his fitness exercise, and then play cricket 6 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours a day. Never ever took a break. There was no holiday for him. There was no Christmas, New Year, birthday. Every day he would have to practice his cricket. So, if you have an aspiration goal to become a Sachin Tendulkar, in any field that you are working, you have to remember that it is perseverance and hard work that you need to do. That's the first most important thing. The second most important thing that I want to share with you, my friends, is positivity. You have to believe in yourself. People, you will say, oh, that student is clever than me, so-and-so is better equipped with me, he has better facilities than me, he has all that in me. All that in the long run is not important. If you are positive about the fact and you are aspirational in your thoughts and privileges, I promise you, nothing can stop you from being successful. But if you are not positive about what you can achieve, and you don't have that self-confidence in you, you cannot achieve it. So first and foremost, you must have that self-confidence which you got to do. Only when you have that self-confidence can there be thing to be done. The next important thing which I can share with you is that you have to learn to be a little better every day. Don't be much better in one day. And nobody can be much better in one day. No one in the world, no company in the world, no person in the world, no speaker in the world, nobody ever becomes good. Amitabh Bachchan became Amitabh Bachchan because he did hundreds and hundreds of movies. All the leaders which take place do a lot of work themselves and keep on repeating till do them. But what is their first thing that they remember? Is that I want to increase and improve at least 1% today than what I was yesterday. So whatever I was yesterday, can I be 1% better today? Which means in the end of the year, you will be 365% better. Can you imagine? By only being 1% better every day. So every time I make a speech, I promise myself that I will make a better speech than the speech I made yesterday. If I can improve it even 1% than the speech I made yesterday, I'm very happy. I don't want to be 300 times better. But at the end of the year, I'll be 300% better. Simply because I have made one step at a time. 1% better every day. And I promise you, you have to do it. You will find that in your studies, you will find that in your gymming, you will find it in your life, even loving. Remember to love 1% more every day. To your parents, to your girlfriend, boyfriend, to your children, to the parents who are there, to your grandchildren, for people who have grandchildren like me. We must love our grandchildren 1% more every single day, and we must take one. Similarly, when you go to a big objective, break it down into steps. And every day take one step towards that direction. I remember the time when I took up my PhD only 7-8 years ago. And they said, oh my God, you have to do all this compilation. And I'm a busy person. So I said, how can I do this? It's impossible. Somebody told me, you're crazy. You think you can do it just because you're Niranjan Hiranandani, you'll do it? I said, no, I'm going to do very little every day. So I kept aside 10 minutes, 15 minutes every day and started working on it. And on some of the weekends, I would sit for 2-3 hours and did it. In a period of 3 years, I completed my thesis under the guide and I became a PhD in housing. So if I had felt that I will do it, I will take a holiday for 30 days and do it, it would never have happened. If I thought that I will do it at the end of the year or during holidays, it would never have happened. But because I said I will do it every day, a little bit of that work and do it, something which everybody thought, including myself sometimes, that is not going to happen, was really there. But when I did, it was important. Another thought has come to me over a period of time. Niranjan Hiranandani, who is your competitor? So I would say X builder, Y builder, Z builder, so and so is builder, is my competition, this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Over a period of time, I was wondering, actually are they my competition? Because I've already moved ahead of many of them. So now how do I actually progress and make a bigger success of Niranjan Hiranandani than I made say 15 years ago? Because I've already reached somewhere. So what I did, so now I got a new thought in my mind which I want to share with you. Today's date, Niranjan Hiranandani is the biggest competitor to Niranjan Hiranandani of yesterday. So whatever Niranjan Hiranandani did yesterday, that is my competition. How can I be better than Niranjan Hiranandani of yesterday? So yesterday I was 100. How can I be 105? And I don't have to look at a competitor. I have to look at myself. So I would say, like all the principals who are here today, last year they were in a mess and they found that, look, what is the competition? They didn't look at external competition. They just said, how can I use my same teachers to produce the online examination? They took the same resources. You may be the same person. You don't have to worry about going out. You look at yourself and say, how can I look more beautiful? How can I dress better? How can I run better? How can I have better fitness? How can I eat more healthier? How can I love more? How can I do everything more? So your thought should be, how can I be more efficient? How can I be better? How can I do everything in my life? I will do better. And do a little bit better. Don't promise yourself the moon on day one. But if you do that little better, I promise you, you will be the most successful person in your life. So you just don't have to worry. Don't look outside. Of course, you should have mentors from outside. Don't miss out that. That's the most important thing. In fact, I should have mentioned that first. Always choose mentors to guide you and show you the way. Look out to people who are better than you, different from you, nicer than you, more good looking than you, everything. And say, how can I better myself to move into that line? So you must always do that. Look out for the purposes of learning from people and never ever stop to do it. Let me share with you a story about my own father. He was, as Madam Principal has just mentioned, he was an ENT surgeon, a very reputed one, a Dhanvantri, a Padma Bhushan. One day, and I was very close to him, at the age of 82, one day when we were having a talk early in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, having tea together, he mentioned to me, he said, Niranjan, I'm going to go to Germany to learn a new operation. I said, Dad, are you crazy? You're 82 years old and you want to go to Germany to learn a new operation, a year operation? So he said, yes, what's wrong with going to Germany? So I said, who is this and what operation? So he said, Dr. Plester in Germany, who's done some new techniques of surgery of the year, and I would like to go and learn from him. And then I told him, I said, wasn't it that same Dr. Plester who 4 years ago had come to you for learning an operation from you? So he said, yes, it's the same doctor, a younger doctor than Dr. Hiranandani, and he wanted to. And finally, lo behold, at age 82, Dr. L.H. Hiranandani went to Germany, spent 10-12 days with Dr. Plester in Germany to learn this different operation which he did. Unfortunately, later on, Dr. Hiranandani got Parkinson's, so he did not operate too much the new surgical technique. But what did this indicate? It indicates that you can be a learner through your whole life. There is no age barrier to learning. One should continue to learn all his life, and he must continue to improve also all his life. There's another story I can share with you. Is Captain Nair of the Leela chain of hotels. He started the first hotel in Mumbai at age 62, and he built a whole chain of hotels all over India, and one of the finest luxury hotels in India, no, in the world. They are finest hotels, luxury hotels, and won prizes of all the hotels that I've done. I've had the good fortune of staying in 3 or 4 of those hotels, and they're beautiful hotels. But he started this first hotel only at age 62 and lived at up to the ripe age of 90s, and he's no more now. But I looked up to him of the fact that a person can restart life at 62. So age is never a barrier to learn. Age is not a barrier to create new things. Age is not a barrier to make excuses for yourself not to improve yourself. In fact, the more you age, the more wisdom you have, the more improvement you have to do for yourself in order to see that we will be able to do something. Many times, you and I want to do something. But you know what you say? अच्छा ठीक है, हम कोशिश करते हैं इसको करने के लिए. So there is no, what should I say, passion in that whole exercise. If you take up something and you say, ठीक है, मेरे पिताजी ने बोला है ये करने का, तो मैं कर रहा हूँ. Or somebody has told me and guided me to do this, so I'm doing it. I want to earn a salary, so I'm doing it. मुझे इतना पगार मिलता है इसलिए मुझे ये करना है. That is the biggest mistake of your life. What you really need to do is to be passionate about whatever you do. Give it your 100% whatever you're doing. Don't ever do it. कम पगार मिलता है? Don't worry. You will get bigger पगार tomorrow. You may not get credit for everything that you do, but pick up those items that you want to do passionately and do it so that you put in your everything into it. That is where I have to congratulate our president, Mr. Kishu Mansukani. Anything he takes up, it's passionately he does it and he gets after it. He's the leader that we can see examples of, and that is what makes the difference to the entire board, and all of us are here following his great example of leadership into do it. He puts that passion, ye karna hi hai board ko, we have to do it. So that's the issue. So please, when you take up something, just like the boys and girls at 16, 18, 21 look to their girlfriend with great passion or their boyfriend with great passion. You have to put in passion in everything, whether it's your studies, whether it's your work, whether it's your exercise, whether it's anything. वो पूरे passion के साथ करना चाहिए. And once you do it passionately, there is no way that you will not succeed. I promise you that is there. Another important factor is you got to give time to the things that you need to do well. Many times we are crowded, and that is my biggest weakness. And I must remind myself what I'm telling you I should be doing. I need to give adequate time to the important things that you want to do and not get cluttered up by mobile, social media, and other things and activities to do. One should focus on certain activities that you want to take up and give adequate space and time on it. Prepare a timetable, prepare something, space on it, and say that every day in something I will give it time. We all go in for studies for our colleges. We all think that we will do it in the last 15 days, that we will study the table, we will look up some of the, guide or some notes or something like that, and we will be successful. You will not be successful. You may pass the examination. Passing is not a success. Success is when you have great expectations of yourself and you surpass your own expectations. So you not only have to do well, you have to do very, very, very well. I remember a couple of years ago, my guide mentor, Dada J.P. Vaswani, on one of his birthday lectures in Pune, God bless his soul, he's no more, he's there blessing us from above. He mentioned one thing which still I remember. He said, please don't do your best. I was shocked. What do you mean don't do your best? And my guru is telling me don't do your best? I was quite taken aback. How can anybody tell me not to do my best? And then he added a corrigendum. He said, do your best and a little more. All the faltus in the world say, I did my best, but it did not happen. Dada J.P. Vaswani tells you, or told me, do your best and a little more till you succeed. So it's never a little more. It means you have to do everything that is necessary to do it. So the best is never enough, because a lot of people, even those in business, those who are servicing, those who are working, those who are students, say, oh Papa, I couldn't do well, I studied very hard, but I didn't do it. It's because you only did your best, correct? But you didn't do a little more. So you have to learn to actually do your best and a little more. And these are extremely important to learn, in order to do so. The moment you do that little more and make a habit of making a little more than your best, automatically things will start doing it. Of course, you must learn the skill sets of doing a little more. So if you want to take up a construction activity, you must learn more about the real estate as a business in order to know more about it and then get into it. If you want to do some other work, you have to learn more about that whole thing and all. I can only tell you there are many ways to be successful. But when you put these little thoughts and ideas in your mind and put it across, I promise you, it's my word to you and each and every one of you, that you cannot not be successful. I promise you that you will, each one of you, be so successful that you will surprise yourself on it. Somebody says, and someone told me, "Arey, I have so many problems, then how can I succeed?" That many times that problems you should take as an adventure. Problems come, those are the hurdles in life, and those hurdles will continue all your life. But treat these troubles and handicaps as an adventure. You know how you go on a hike and you go on a hill and you have slopes and you have slippery places and difficult places, but you don't bother about it. You handicap and take it over because it's an adventure to go up the mountain and do a trek. So you don't worry about the handicap. Similarly, problems in life will come no matter what you do. Whether you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whether you get married, whether you have children, whether you have grandchildren, there are going to be problems. So what do? We treat this whole life as an adventure. When you treat it as an adventure, handicaps come and go and whatever it is. And young friends, remember, India is a land of opportunity for people to make successes. And there is no dearth of successes that you can do. Can you imagine? This is the only country in the world where even a chaiwala becomes a Prime Minister of India. Can you imagine what opportunity you have? Can you say that your parents are a chaiwala or you are a chaiwala? You are not a chaiwala coming to our colleges and schools. You don't come from a house where there is poverty-stricken situation. All of you have been better than that. If that is the case, remember his example. Work in the way that our Prime Minister is working. Have that aspiration. Believe in yourself and do the skill sets that you want. And I do believe that the colleges of your board, the Chandipai College, your teachers, your mentors, your principal, your board, your president are wonderful people. Treat them as your mentors, your guide and mentor. I promise you that you will not be successful. This is my Niranjan Hiranandani's promise to you, that you will and shall be successful. And when you do, and I'm still there, please come and tell me that now I have become a successful person. Because I did, one step at a time, I became passionate. I never treated a problem as a problem. I treated it as an adventure. I took one step at a time. I improved myself 1% every day. And I saw mentors who would guide me and take me forward. Age is not a barrier. I can keep on learning every single day of my life. And I promise you, God will bless you. All the good wishes to each and every one of you, here, today and tomorrow. I love you all. I wish that all your successes will be there to create happiness for you. But if you don't aspire, then the successes will be small. If you aspire and perspire, your successes will be fantastic and the perspiration will not be a bother. I love you all. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity of sharing my thoughts on how to be successful in life. I hope that you have some takeaways that you will have, which at least some of them may be useful to some of you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak here today. I have spoke longer than I had decided to speak, but I guess when you have a captive audience, which you know is listening to you. You continue to babble, and I love my teaching. And since I am affiliated to so many colleges and close to so many teachers, I have the habit of speaking long. So thank you once again, and take care. Don't take this entire situation casually. Please use your face masks, sanitize your hands, keep some social distancing, because it may not affect you, but it could affect your parents and grandparents. Because you people may not have so many severe symptoms, but your parents and others could. So take care, and take care of everybody. Have a lovely, lovely day. Thank you.
So many thank you notes. Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring words.
1 minute. There is one question from Sarika Chabria Talreja saying, I'm curious to know your take on success in relationships. Is there any mantra? Please share. I'm going to take this question. It's very interesting in relationships, and I think it's very important question in life. How do you succeed in relationships?
Okay. Yes.
So
mantra. Yes,
the answer to that question is very simple. And again, if I'm not mistaken, Dada J.P. Vaswani also spoke about it some time ago. So probably it's part of that story. Dada always said that you can love somebody tremendously, but it is not necessary that that person should love you. So your pleasure should be by giving love to your relationships and not really expecting that. But at the end of the day, it is the pleasure of loving which becomes important, not the relationships of giving. At a younger age, it's extremely difficult to understand what I'm trying to say. But when you continue to love a huge deal, the other side will melt. You may not get an response immediately or whatever it is, but your life is full of happiness. So relationships, especially in families, becomes extremely important to continue to give, because it really gives it. A mother giving love to a child is never conditional. Similarly, if you learn to continue to love all your people close to you in a same manner, then you will always be successful, because your expectations of the return are minimal. So that is the most important thing, and I think it's a very strong question and very difficult question for most of the people that really have taken place. And I thought that was the interesting question which I can see on the chat box. I'm curious to know how one can ensure that as a person I've done a little better than the best I can do. No, this is very easy. You do what you want to do, and then you sit down and say, this is my best. And then you start thinking for yourself and say, now can I improve it? So I've prepared a speech which I did about 6 months ago to IIT in Mumbai. Now today when I'm speaking to CHM, how can I give a better speech than I gave to in IIT? You just have to think, okay, I gave a good speech in IIT, but today I want to give a better speech than what I gave in IIT. You have to start thinking about it. The moment you start thinking that I want to do it, then you will definitely be better than what you were. But first you have to apply your mind and say, I want to be better. So once you apply your mind and say, I want to be better, I can definitely say that you are there. Another good question is from Rahul Badwe. He says, your challenges are huge as compared to us. How do you manage failures?
Yes,
I didn't mention that today because it's a little bit of a longish answer in terms of it. All people who aspire to grow will have failures. I will just share with you my very big failure in life right at the beginning of my career. The first thing which Principal Manju Pathak forgot to mention was that I was also in textiles. And I was doing textiles and I was doing real estate. There was a stage where I was almost bankrupt and I couldn't sustain both my real estate and textile business. Then I had to sell one of the businesses, didn't know which one to sell. Then there was a notice from the union for increase in wages from the textile unit, and I decided to sell the textile unit, and I took into this part of it. And that failure helped me to focus on real estate, saying, now I have only one business, real estate. I don't have both the businesses. So I can't take it easy. I have to focus on my real estate business and make it successful. So you, instead of managing failures in terms of it, you treat it as a challenge and take up the next best alternative and get up and start walking. What happens when you're running in a race and you fall down or you trip? You get up and start running again. So exactly the same in everything that you do in life. You just get up and start running again. But it's a good question, because people are not taught how to fail and accept failures. We are always taught how to accept successes. And it's a very, very important question. Every child, every parent, every teacher, every principal, every person in the world must learn that if you have to live life successfully, and if you have to climb up to the moon, you will have failures. And you have to learn to accept failures as a thing that is a small hurdle in life, and get up again and face it again. So don't ever do it. So the mantra is, be a better version of yourself every day. Yes, your mantra, who is this? Ritika Chachra. Correct, your mantra is correct. I will use it next time in my speech. How to stay motivated during tough time and control our mind? The way, very simple. You have an objective which is bigger than you. If you have bigger objectives than what you are, whether it's your family, whether it's your education, whether it's your career, whether it's your ambition to become fitter, slimmer, more beautiful, more handsome, all that is there. So the motivation is there that you want an aspiration model of what we really need to do. So that's it.
So there's one question from Miss Divya Deshmukh.
Yes.
It's in the YouTube.
Yes.
She has asked, so which is that one book which you feel every student should read?
There is no one book that you read. You have to read lots and lots and lots of books. So I have a whole, this is a one bookshelf. I have 30 bookshelves like this. And you keep on reading more and more. After you finished a good book, you have to get to the next good book. So never stop reading. You have to go. There is no one good book in my life, and there is never going to be one good book. You have to keep on reading more and more books all your life, because there is so many new things which are happening. New things that you need to learn, and that is why now we have a lot of online courses. We will have a lot of online lectures, and this is going to be perennial. Earlier the teaching used to end when you graduate and leave college. Now the good news is that we will continue to have teaching and learning from our colleges for the rest of your life. You're going to start online lectures both in the colleges, in the board and in the university. So you're going to see a lot of things which are really going to be fantastic that is there. What is the hardest decision that I have ever had to make? Oh, hardest decision, there is no one hardest decision that you take. When you take difficult decisions, you take it all the time. Maybe the last hard decision is the one I'm going to take today. So it's always very hard. So decisions are going to be tough when you do it, because the problem at the moment should be the supreme problem. Face it, tackle it and move ahead.
So there's one question from Mehek Rohra. Sir, can you please tell me what is smart work and how can I do it?
Smart work is a shortcut. There is no such thing as a smart work in the sense of being cleverer than somebody else. Smart work is to keep on learning so much that people outside think that you are smart. Actually, you're not smart. You're only learned so much that people look at you and feel that you are smart. Actually, it's only the fact that you have learned more and have learned how to organize the work that you do, that it appears to be smart from outside. In reality, we think that Prime Minister Modi is very smart. He's not very smart, he's very learned. He's very hardworking. He's very principled. He's very good at execution. So you think he's smart. The definition of smart doesn't work in that sense of the term. Otherwise, your mobile is very smart. So are you a mobile? Not like that. So everything is, the issue is of actually learning more, doing more, acting more, and automatically people around you, whether it's your family or your spouse or your friend or your children or your parents, all feel that you are smart. But actually, you have imbibed more and more in your life, so automatically you have turned smart. You not are smart, but you have turned smart. But you have to become smarter every day. Don't become smart today and tomorrow you are outsmarted. So you have to continue to be smarter every day so that people continue to think that you are smarter. I am smart because in the last 10 years, every day I have improved. So people start thinking, ye to Roj, he's 71, he still becomes smarter. Actually, it's only 1% smarter than what I was yesterday.
Sir, there is a question by my teacher Richa Koite from Computer Science Department. She is asking what role luck plays in our success.
Luck, there is no such thing as luck. The environment sometimes falls into place, sometimes it doesn't. So there is, when the environment, certain things around the environment fall into place, then obviously that is considered by luck, nature, God blessings, everything, parents' blessings and all the other aspects of life. In reality, you have to learn to make your own luck because there is no thing. So when you put in tremendous effort, for example, let us say we conducted online lectures. You know how many problems we had? Hundreds of problems. We didn't know what base to use. We didn't have how the teachers would speak. How would we put ourselves? How the camera, the lighting, the backlighting, the front lighting. How do you speak? What are the situation? All that is there. So we were very unlucky because we had no experience. The moment we have become experienced, luck goes away and it's your own smartness, your own cleverness, your own hard work which becomes there. So yes, the environment may sometimes be friendly or not friendly. And if the environment is friendly at a particular point of time, it is luck. But what was the luck for Prime Minister Modi? Somebody says, oh, he became lucky, so he became Prime Minister. All bullshit, nonsensical people talk. He worked very hard to become the Prime Minister and he still continues to work very hard. So you don't, yes, the environment situation may be good or bad at a particular point of time for you, but that's just a hurdle of the moment, not luck.
Sir, there is one student, I don't know how he entered from Zoom because we did not share, but she is there. Her name is Vandana Shetty. She writes, as a 21 years old, I'm confused as to what should I have as my career. What according to you should be the approach of young people towards life?
Difficult question that you are asking me because the number of career paths which have come up in the last few years are so many. I don't even know all the career paths. So you should continue to find out what are the possible career paths. One of the things wonderful to do is to go and do it. Let me share with you that when I was in college, I was doing BCom and I was studying for my commerce. I went and worked in a factory. I worked in a factory in Calicut. I worked in a factory called Century Mills. I went and worked in a factory called Gwalior Rayon. And then I started my textile business. So my first introduction was in order to get familiar with what you want to do. Try to find out people who are in that profession. Take your guidance from people who are mentors to you and take out what are the options that are available. Talk to your friends, talk to your outsiders, read a lot about the opportunities that are coming. And then, of course, find out what you would like to do because that is most important. What is your strength in order to do? Once you have affiliated this and take a line, it will be possible to choose the best one that is to be done.
Sir, may I say you one thing? Sir, I humbly inform to you that I did not forget your starting career. I informed that you started with the one weaving unit of textile in 1981 in Kandivali. How I can forget your achievement, sir?
That was my failure. You treated it as an achievement. That's why I had to describe it.
Okay.
So can we take one more question
Yes,
from
last.
one student?
Last.
Sachin Adikar has asked. Part of the question you have already answered earlier, but there's a second part. So how do we handle criticism?
That's a very difficult question. And it takes a long time before criticism to be there. Let's say your enemy criticizes you. It is very easy to handle it because you know, अरे वो तो मेरा दुश्मन है, वो तो मुझे criticize तो करेगा ही, गाली भी देगा. So you don't feel bad about it. But when somebody closest to you, your parents, your close friends, criticize you, it becomes extremely difficult to emotionally handle criticism. And let me share with you that even I find it difficult when the criticism comes from people who are close to me. It's bound to be there. So you analyze what the criticism is. Is it genuine? If it is, then you treat it as something which you must improve in the future. So you have not studied and you have failed. There's a criticism about you. Take it. Next time try and improve and see that you study better. And you will be okay. So you have taken the criticism in a positive manner. Somebody has criticized you for something which is not due to you. Okay? Because he is your enemy. तुम्हारा दुश्मन है. इसलिए he has criticized you. Don't bother about such criticism. Write it off. A dog is barking on the street. Are you bothered? No. So let that dog continue to bark. Boo 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 करते रहेगा तो रहने दो उसको. So criticism which is true and positive, take cognizance of it and try and improve yourself in the future and improve yourself much better. So you use that criticism in a positive way. But if the criticism comes from a barking dog, a dushman, a person who's telling wrong things about you, treat it as a barking dog on the side street and forget about it and try to disconnect with that sound and focus on whatever else you are doing over there. So criticism is very good. Criticism can be positive in both ways. Bad criticism coming from a good person, improve yourself. Bad criticism coming from a bad person, ignore it like a barking dog or bhul jao usko. Forever, not even now and ever. He will continue to bark again and again and again. Bow bow karte रहेगा. तुम खराब हो, ये हो, बदनाम हो, ये फलाना ढिकना. Forget it. Because he is useless. But if the person is saying correct, you have not studied, you know it. When somebody is criticizing you, whether it's your teacher, whether it's your principal, whether it's your parents, whether it's your friends, whether it's anyone, your sibling, so you then improve yourself. So criticism is the best thing in life. Either you use it or throw it away. Use it when you need it and when it is useful to you. Throw it away when you know that fellow is bullshitting, nonsense, barking like a dog. Forget it.
Sir,
There's one question. How do I ensure that I am on the right track? I'm doing the right thing.
I can tell you 99% people know that they are on the right track. They know it. If they don't know it, it also indicates that the person has not made enough study about the matter. You enter into a forest and you don't know what the route is going to be there. And I don't know what route to take. It's your fault. So the right paths and things can be done only if you actually make a study, and in 9 times out of 10, you know that you are on the right path or the wrong path. But you ignore that particular matter. The moment you ignore that, then you can go on the wrong path and not really know about it. So it's extremely important to figure out for yourself what is the right and wrong that is done. And 90% of the places you yourself know subconsciously, or people may hint to you and people may tell you, sometimes when you're in a position like me, people don't tell me that I'm on the wrong path, so I'm in trouble. But for youngsters and people and others where you have colleagues and mentors and teachers and parents, you will be told that you're on the wrong path, please improve yourself. So some friend will tell you to take drugs. Now is that a right path? You know it's a wrong path, but you still tend to take drugs. So you have to learn to know and find out and discover for you the wrong path. If you get habituated in life to go wrong paths without correcting yourself, your life will be ruined, because in your whole life you will go on the wrong path and not improve yourself. So please, for God's sake, learn how to identify yourself into better and better paths in your life, and as you grow up you will always be successful because you have taken more positively the right path. There may be rare occasions where you may be taking a wrong path and don't know about it, but you will get warning signals from here and there that your parents, your colleagues, your teachers, your principal, whoever will guide you and tell you, and you must try and rectify yourself as quickly as possible. Thank you for the questions. They were very interesting questions, so I enjoyed it.
सर अभी सब एक आखिरी बात सर, everybody knows that NAC is a apex body who assess the colleges, and all colleges have to go for this process, and UGC has some guidelines for this, and as per the NAC we have the 5 important stakeholders, and fortunately today we all 5 stakeholders are here on this platform: management, staff, students, alumni and parents. Sir, at all colleges, principal, vice principal, head of the department, teachers, all they try to work to achieve the higher grade as per the earlier grade of the college. Sir, Srimati CHM College is also preparing for the 3rd cycle of the NAC. मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है सर कि A ग्रेड आएगा कि नहीं ये दूसरी बात है, बट A ग्रेड के लिए हम काम करेंगे, हम A ग्रेड लायक हैं और हमें A ग्रेड मिलेगा। इसके लिए सर आप क्या संदेश देना चाहेंगे?
पहली बात है कि ये आपको निश्चित करना है कि आपको A ग्रेड आएगा 100%। एक बार आपने निश्चित कर लिया कि मुझे A ग्रेड आना ही है, फिर हर एक को काम पर लगा दीजिए और बोलिए कि भाई करें। उसमें मैनेजमेंट आपके साथ शरीक है, आपके दूसरे टीचर्स आपके साथ शरीक हैं, आपके वाइस प्रिंसिपल शरीक हैं, आपके स्टूडेंट्स सब शरीक हैं। मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई आपके साथ शरीक नहीं है, लेकिन ये प्रिंसिपल को डिसाइड करना है कि उनको A ग्रेड लाना है कि नहीं। एक बार वो प्रिंसिपल निश्चित कर दे कि मुझे A ग्रेड लाना ही है, तो वो आएगा। प्रधानमंत्री जब कहते हैं कि हमें इसको सामना करना ही है, वो चीन को सामना करना है या कोविड को सामना करना है या गरीबी को सामना करना है या फार्मर्स लैरी को सामना करना है, वो एक बार निश्चित कर दें कि मुझे सामना करना है तो ही होता है। तो इसलिए पहली बात ये है, प्रिंसिपल मंजू पाठक, आपको ये निश्चित करना है कि आपको A ग्रेड आएगा। आएगा सर। हाँ, बस ये एक बार आपने कह दी तो दैट इज 50% ऑफ द वे। बाकी 50% आपको ये प्रिपरेशन करना है, मेहनत करना है, तैयारी करनी है, बातचीत करनी है, आपको सबको शरीक लेना है, मैनेजमेंट को लेना है, सबको लेना है, और उसकी एक यात्रा का एक पगला आज से एक स्टेप आगे लेना है, कल एक स्टेप आगे लेना है, परसों एक स्टेप आगे लेना है, तरसों एक स्टेप आगे लेना है। जब तक आप ये काम पर ठोस एक वो अर्जुन के क्या बोलते हैं उसको, बाण को पकड़ के वो एकदम तीर को जैसे दिया है, वैसे वो नेक का A ग्रेड के ऊपर आपको ध्यान रखना है। जिस दिन आप वो नक्की कर दिया है, जैसे आप आज नक्की कर दिया कि हमें A ग्रेड मिलना ही है, तो बाकी तो उसका रास्ता होता है। मुझे पूना जाना है, अभी मैं प्लेन में जाऊं, ट्रेन में जाऊं, हेलीकॉप्टर में जाऊं, गाड़ी में जाऊं, बस में जाऊं, कोई भी तरीके से जाऊं, पर मैं जाऊंगा। तो ये एक निश्चित करना है, तो आपको ए ग्रेड का निश्चित करना है कि मुझे ए ग्रेड आना ही है, खत्म। एक बार आपने निश्चित कर दिया, उसके बाद में आपको पगला लेना है। आपको कोई कठिनाई आए तो आप वाइस प्रिंसिपल को शरीक करिए, आप और कठिनाई आए तो मैनेजमेंट से बात कीजिए, और कठिनाई है तो बाकी स्टाफ से बात कीजिए, उनको शरीक लीजिए, नॉन टीचिंग स्टाफ को आप शरीक में रखिए, अलमनाई को आपको साथ में रखिए। ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है कि जो हम पूरा नहीं कर सकते। हम 14 साल पहले की बात है, जब मैं प्रेसिडेंट पहले बना तो मेरे पिताजी उस समय तो ऑफ कोर्स ही वाज यंगर, ही टोल्ड मी कि चांदीबाई कॉलेज के कंपाउंड के अंदर 4 नए कॉलेजेस शुरुआत करनी है। उस समय हमारे कॉलेज के पास इतने पैसे नहीं थे कि हम 4 कॉलेजेस कर दें, लेकिन हमने प्रयत्न किया, एक मकसद लगाया और 2 साल के अंदर हमने 4 नए कॉलेजेस शुरुआत की, 3 नए कॉलेजेस शुरुआत की, जो आपको पता है कि वो कैंपस में आ गए। लेकिन जब हमने ये सोचा था, मुझे ये लग रहा था कि चांदीबाई में ये 3-4 कॉलेजेस कैसे बनेंगे, लेकिन मेरे पिताजी ने मुझे ये लक्ष्य दिखाया, जैसे नैक को आप लक्ष्य दिखा रहे हैं कि ये हमें करना ही है और हम करेंगे और हम कर सकते हैं और आपकी काबिलियत है। जिस दिन आप ये निश्चित करते हैं उस दिन आप 100% आपको नैक ए ग्रेड आ जाएगा, ये मेरा आश्वासन आपको है। लेकिन ये आपको मानना पड़ेगा कि आपको मिलेगा ही। जिस दिन आप ये मानते हैं कि ये मुझे मिलेगा ही, तो मैं 100% आपको कह सकता हूं कि पूरे जो लीडरशिप लेते हैं ना, तो उसको लेता है। जैसे प्रधानमंत्री कहते हैं कि हमें ये इसको लड़ना है, तो पूरे देश साथ में आते हैं। वैसे ही प्रिंसिपल एक बार ये ऐलान कर दे कि हम करेंगे, तो मैनेजमेंट भी आपके साथ साथ में आपको एक ग्रेड में दिलाने के लिए शरीक है।
सर थैंक यू सो मच। जिस तरह मैंने कहा कि आपका यहाँ पर होना हमारे लिए आशीर्वाद है, आपकी बातें हमारे लिए पुरस्कार है, तो अब मुझे लगता है उस पुरस्कार के साथ जिम्मेदारियां भी माहिती के रूप में हमारे साथ चली आई हैं। और आपने तो जैसे आपके पापा ने आपको लक्ष्य दिखाया था, मुझे लगता है कि आज आपने लक्ष्य दिखाया है। और सर CHM कॉलेज में वो काबिलियत है कि हम ए ग्रेड ला सकते हैं। बस अब ये मुझे लगता है
नहीं ला नहीं सकते हैं, लाएंगे
सर, ये
नहीं आएगा,
आ सकते हैं, तो इसीलिए अब सबके साथ मिलकर हम ए ग्रेड लाएंगे सर।
जरूर, बस ठीक है, फैंटास्टिक,
थैंक यू सो मच,
कांग्रेचुलेशंस।
सतराम मीरानी सर।
Yes, ma'am.
प्लीज सर।
Sir, you really mesmerized this August gathering with your inimitable style and great oratory skills, which I believe no one can match. Sir, we are blessed to have with you in this August gathering along with our President, Dr. Kishuman Sukhani, sir. Let me tell you, sir, we cannot spell success without you. Yes, without you. To me, success is a tasty dish with patience, passion, intelligence, knowledge, and experience being its core ingredients. And as you rightly said, sir, but hard work and perseverance is that salt that makes the dish named success a very delicious and tasty one. Thank you, sir, for guiding us on the topic how to succeed in life. We are all blessed, we are all touched, we are all privileged, we are all honored. I would like to extend the acknowledgement of the presence of all the principals of our associate and sister colleges. To name a few, Dr. Hemalata Bagla, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, Dr. C.A. Kishore Kishori, Sunita Sharma ma'am of Pattumal Institute, and many more. We are thankful to our worthy principal for taking initiative for this once in a lifetime talk. We also thank from the core of our heart all the vice principals of CHM College and associate and sister colleges for being with us on this August day. I'll be failing in my duties if I don't name the alumni like Dada Mangat Dudani. Sir, we salute you at this age. You joined us and patiently listened to us. We are humbled, we are touched, we are blessed. Thank you, Mangat Dudani sir. Please bless us. Also present with us many more alumni. Hasbalani sir is there, Rakesh Bakshi, and many more. We are very, very thankful to all the alumni. In fact, you all are part of CHM family. We are thankful to all the teaching and non-teaching staff for the gracious presence. We are also thankful to the technical team. Yes, Dr. Meera Punja. Yes, Dheeraj Prochlani, Sumit Bhatia, and the entire technical staff. We are thankful to the students and most important, the parents. Sir, these parents, by gracing this occasion, have honored CHM College, have honored HSNCD. Thank you all the students, thank you all the parents, thank you one and all. I would like to add a special thanks to Dr. Neena Anand for a wonderful question answer session. Thank you very much. Ma CHM College de para, Ma HSNC Board de para, Ma HSNC University para, तमा सबनी जा लख लख थोड़ा तो मनिया। मैं आप सभी का तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ। सर्वांना खूब खूब धन्यवाद। Thank you one and all.